Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Under the shine of the golden light, two miniature red lotus avatars appeared above the two cultivators. The red lotus spun and seemed exceptionally dazzling. The other cultivators broke out in a commotion immediately. Red lotus? Why are their lotuses red? What other tribe is this? A red lotus. Men would always fear and feel wary about the unknown. Although Zhou had a blue lotus, he had a golden lotus as well. With this, the others thought he was using some secret technique. Similar to how the fiend Zen would turn one's energy black. For this reason, nobody dwelled on Zhou's blue lotus. However, this was their first time seeing red lotuses. Their shock was not any less than when they saw the Wolf King avatars of the other tribesmen from Rongxi and Rongbei. Even so, they knew about the other tribes and could easily investigate them. However, what about the red lotus? Where did it come from? The cultivators moved to have a better look at the two cultivators. The two red lotus cultivators looked frightened. They did not expect Zhou to possess a treasure that could reveal their avatars. With this, they had been thoroughly exposed. Without any hesitation, as though they had a tacit understanding, both of them summoned their avatars. Two red lotus avatars appeared and shot into the air. The red lotus cultivators were trying to run away. Alas, they were already surrounded, to begin with. Although Zhou did not have much power left, there were still Nan Gongwei and Fengyi. How could they possibly get away? When the red lotus avatars took flight, the cultivators in the air attacked at the same time. Bam! 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 They attacked without questions. Nobody without a 7 or 8 leaf cultivation base could have withstood this, let alone the two red lotus cultivators who were only at the 5-leaf stage. Shortly after, two 8-leaf golden lotus avatars tackled the red lotus avatars at greater speed. Boom! Boom! The two red lotus cultivators fell. You think you can get away? Nan Gongwei said with a sneer. Fengyi and Nan Gongwei retracted their avatars and landed next to the two red lotus cultivators. Senior Ji, how should we punish them? Zhou looked at the two red lotus cultivators who were sprawled on the ground and said, seal their cultivation bases. Understood. With Fengyi and Nan Gongwei personally making a move, the two red lotus cultivators had their cultivation bases firmly sealed. They were dragged before Zhou, where they remained on their knees. Zhou stared at the two of them with a deep gaze. He asked sternly, from where have you entered? One of the two red lotus cultivators coughed before he said, at this point, you can do whatever you want with us. I've already sent the information of the golden lotus domain back to the red lotus domain. If you dare lay a finger on us, our people will return the favor tenfold. Bam! Nan Gongwei kicked the duo. He glared at them and said, is this really the time for you to act tough? Act tough? Senior Ji, do you really dare to kill me? I swear on the heavens that the Sky Martial Court will annihilate the Golden Lotus domain. Zhou seemed exceptionally calm. On the other hand, the other cultivators were brimming with fury. How dare these people challenge Evil Sky Pavilion's master under the heavens? If our life stones shatter, the Sky Martial Court will be alerted immediately. If you know what's best for you, you'll let us go. Zhou walked over. Fengyi and Nan Gongwei were about to say something when Zhou raised his hand to stop them. As Zhou advanced toward the duo retreated, and their confidence seemed to falter. Are you threatening me? Zhou asked tonelessly. I think so. Despite being frightened, the duo remained unyielding. At this time, they could only ensure their survival by intimidating this 9-leaf cultivator with the red lotus domain. Even if a 9-leaf cultivator were here, I wouldn't think much about him, let alone two 5-leaf cultivators like you. The red lotus cultivator kneeling on the left suddenly saw a cold glint of light. When he looked up, he saw the old man wielding a delicate sword with black runes. Black? He could not help but shudder. Senior. The blade was drawn across his throat. The remainder of his words died with him as blood gushed out from his throat. It was a simple, clean, and thorough move. The Red Lotus cultivator did not seem to have time to process his death as life left him. His chest was dyed red by the blood gushing out from his throat. The scarlet shade resembled a Red Lotus avatar. Then, his head lolled to the side. Thud. He fell down and stopped breathing. Ding. Killed a target. Reward, 1,500 merit points. Domain extra, 1,000 merit points. His comrade, the remaining Red Lotus cultivator here, widened his eyes. Zhou shifted his gaze to the Red Lotus cultivator and said, "What do you have to say?" "I have nothing to say. At this point, you can do whatever you want with me." The Red Lotus cultivator turned his head to the side, seemingly resigned to his fate. Zhou grabbed the Red Lotus cultivator's neck. "I killed Jiangwenxiu, Guming, Qiyao, Qiongqi. Tell me why you don't think I can kill you?" When the Red Lotus cultivator heard the strings of names coming out of Zhou's mouth, a fearful expression appeared on his face again. Zhou lifted him up by his neck until his legs dangled in the air and his face flushed red. He tried to pry Zhou's fingers away. Alas, Zhou's grip was firm. "You're only a 5-leaf cultivator, but you don't know your own place. Spare me." He was frightened by Zhou's cold gaze. Too late. Crack. Zhou clenched his hand, snapping the Red Lotus cultivator's neck. His head lolled to the side, he was no longer breathing. Zhou released his grip on the Red Lotus cultivator's neck, and the Red Lotus cultivator fell to the ground with a thud. The other cultivators were relieved when they saw this, but they did not dare to make a sound. Although there were no flamboyant and ostentatious moves or energies, they felt terrified. Zhou's earlier words were etched into their minds, and they vowed inwardly that they would never try to threaten an elite like the Patriarch of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Ding. Killed a target. Reward, 1,500 merit points. Domain extra, 1,000 merit points. With the deaths of the 2 Red Lotus cultivators, Zhou earned 5,000 merit points. This was much easier than killing Qiongqi. Zhou was troubled by the fact that he needed more merit points. Since the 2 cultivators had crossed his bottom line, how could he live up to his title of Old Villain G if he did not kill them? For a time, nobody said anything. Zhou no longer cared about the dead men. He looked at Nan Gongwei and Fengyi and asked, "Why are both of you here in Yu Province?" Nan Gongwei snapped back to his senses. He wiped the sweat off his brows and said, "Senior G. There's no need to be nervous. I've always been merciful. We learned that a beast was attacking a city. Hence, we thought of coming out to train," Nan Gongwei replied. "Elder Chu Nan said you intend to preach about the 9-leaf stage. How could we miss such a thing?" Fengyi added. They were stuck at the 8-leaf stage for a long time now. If there was a way to reach the 9-leaf stage, they would be more than happy to learn. The cultivators in the skies were overjoyed when they heard this. There were only rumors about this before. Now that the Patriarch himself had confirmed it, how could they not feel elated? Even if they were not at the 8-leaf stage yet, what they would learn would certainly be of value in the future. Hence, they bowed and said in unison, "Your magnanimity is something we should all learn from, Senior G. You're our role model." Finally, the current matter had been dealt with. Zhou stroked his beard and nodded. He turned to look at Bayan and said, "Let's return to the Evil Sky Pavilion." The others bowed. "Safe journey, Senior G." Zhou leaped onto Bayan's back and hovered in the air. At the same time, he looked at the little Qiongqi next to him and sighed. He was barely in the air when he saw the civilians in the vicinity swarmed out of the streets. Perhaps, Bayan's appearance was too frightful, the commoners thought that another beast had appeared. Hence, they scattered and ran back into their houses. Zhou immediately produced a disguise card. He shattered it in his palm. A 9-leaf golden lotus avatar towered in the air. The 9 leaves were dazzling and eye-catching. Bayan sped forward with the 150-foot avatar. The golden radiance shone on Yu Province City. The cultivators worshipped him. When the civilians saw this, realization finally dawned on them. As far as the eye could see, people were bowing down and kowtowing at Zhou. Ding. Worshipped by 30,000 individuals. Reward, 30,000 merit points. Zhou, naturally, deliberately manifested his 9-leaf avatar so the people would worship him. He thought he would fail, but who knew it would turn out to be a success. According to the system, he could scheme or force people to worship him. However, what he just did worked. Perhaps, the timing was important. Or maybe the people worshipping him had to be sincere and truly grateful for him to earn merit points. That was why he did not earn merit points from those cultivators who only acted respectful to him. He was lucky this time around. If this was any other city, the people would only be temporarily awed. They would not go so far as to worship him. The disguise card cost him 10,000 merit points. The cost was truly high. He could not afford to take risks. It was clear to him that the event that led to the worshipping was the key. 10 seconds passed in an instant, and his avatar disappeared. The cultivators who hovered above Qiongqi's carcass were still in awe. Senior G is unrivaled. He's a 9-leaf cultivator, but he can kill Qiongqi with an 8-leaf cultivation base. That just shows how confident he was. We're 8-leaf cultivators as well, but we couldn't take down Qiongqi even if we joined forces. In contrast, Senior G overpowered Qiongqi on his own. Although we're using the 8-leaf stage strength, we're as different as heaven and earth. Nan Gongwei and Feng Yiji's minds were filled with many thoughts. At this moment, someone next to them said, Senior G aside, the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple, Zhenghai, and second disciple, Shangrong, have never lost a single battle, and they're both 8-leaf cultivators as well. During the battle on Cloud Radiant Forest, both of them were evenly matched. Although they're peerless among 8-leaf cultivators, there's a rumor that both of them couldn't even defeat Senior G when they joined forces. With this series of events, Zhou was now invincible in their hearts. Back at the Evil Sky Pavilion. Wuya and Mingshi went to the Eastern Pavilion immediately to greet Zhou. Bayan landed before the hall. When Mingshi saw the little pup, Qiongqi, beside his master and on Bayan's back, he frowned. What's that? Wuya turned to look as well. He did not recognize Qiongqi. Welcome back, master. The 4th and 7th disciples bowed in unison. Zhou leaped off Bayan. With a wave of his hand, little Qiongqi fell off Bayan's back. He did not expect little Qiongqi to adapt to external environments so quickly throughout their rushed journey. Its footing was already stable. Perhaps, this was the beast's strength. Master, this is. Mingshi pointed at little Qiongqi with a confused expression. Woof. 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 Little Qiongqi flapped its wings at Mingshi. Its fur had flattened and looked neat. With this, it resembled a silly little puppy even more. Heh. I didn't offend you, did I? Mingshi looked at little Qiongqi. Little Qiongqi wagged its tail and ran over. It sniffed around but seemed to find the scent unbearable. It rolled over with its feet facing the skies. Mingshi. Zhou glanced at the pup and said, this beast is Qiongqi. Qiongqi? Wuya walked over, an expression of slight disbelief could be seen on his face. He did not expect there was such a little and cute Qiongqi. Was this the beast that wreaked havoc in Yu Province City? Yu Province City's problem has already been dealt with. This little Qiongqi is the offspring of the Qiongqi that wreaked havoc. Look after it, Zhou said. The offspring of Qiongqi? Wuya clicked his tongue. Realization dawned on him before he said, congratulations on obtaining another mount, master. A mount? This is a mount? Woof, I'll bite you, you hear? Woof. 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 Little Qiongqi and Mingshi seemed to be bickering. Wuya was rendered speechless by Mingshi behavior. How childish. At this moment, little Yuan returned with Conch. Both of them were holding hands. When she saw little Qiongqi rolling on the ground, her interest was instantly piqued. 4th senior brother, what's this? Little Qiongqi. Woof. 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 The two girls began to play with it. Young girls always had a soft spot for cute animals that tried to be fierce, after all. Zhou remembered how ferocious the adult Qiongqi was. He could hardly reconcile the image of the adult Qiongqi with this little Qiongqi. In the end, don't underestimate Qiongqi. Conk and little Yuan played with it some more before standing respectfully before Zhou. Master, junior sister Conk is now in the nascent divinity realm, little Yuan said. Zhou looked at Conk. Her speed was within his expectations. At the same time, he could not help but wonder if she was in her awakening state. If that was not the case, where did her cultivation base come from? Before Jiang Wenxu's death, he denied the notes were left behind by Luo Shirin. At that time, he inferred that it was impossible for Luo Shirin to be Conk. In that case, what was the relationship between the two? Despite his thoughts, Zhou replied calmly, "Good. I'll continue to work hard." Conk clenched her small hands. Zhou looked at Conk, feeling slightly hesitant. He was learning more about the Red Lotus domain by the day. Since Conk was from the Red Lotus world, would she one day stand against him? There were good and bad people everywhere. Luo Shirin left her notes here and encouraged great yen cultivators to improve themselves. On the other hand, Jiang Wenxu suppressed the progress of cultivation for his selfish reasons. Clearly, not everyone from the Red Lotus world was maniacs who only wanted to kill. Forget it. I'll deal with it when the time comes. Zhou turned to look at little Qiongqi and said, "Qiongqi is still young. Who wants to look after it?" "Me. Me. Me. Me." Conk and little Yuan raised their hands simultaneously. Si Wuya took a step back, he was not interested in this. Mingshi raised his hand reluctantly. "Nice. Little pup, you have two ancestors as your new caretakers now. Off you go." He nudged little Qiongqi with his foot. Woof. 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 Little Qiongqi grabbed hold of Mingshi right leg. "What's wrong with you? This is master's order. I don't have any time to spare for you. Get off." Mingshi tried to shake it off. However, Qiongqi only tightened its grip. Zhou found this strange as well. Qiongqi had acknowledged him as its master. He did not expect it to be so attached to another person. "Mingshi," Zhou said. "Yes, master." "You'll look after it," Zhou said. "Huh?" He was stunned. Woof. 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 Little Qiongqi rubbed its face on Mingshi foot. Conk and little Yuan said, "Master." They had their own opinions. Zhou shook his head. "Qiongqi is fiercer than Bian. Are you sure that you want to look after it?" The two girls shook their heads. Old Fourth. "Any objections?" Zhou asked. "No. I promise to take good care of it," Mingshi said with a stiff smile on his face. Woof. 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 Little Qiongqi continued rubbing its face on Mingshi leg. Mingshi was slightly annoyed by this. Zhou returned to his room. He called up the system dashboard and checked his merit points. Merit points, 45,140. Items, Deadly Strike card X2, Critical Block card X72, Passive, Binding Cage card X2, Wizard, Resting, Bian, Jiliang, Qiongqi, Golden Taishu Mirror, Disguise card X3, Reversal card X350, Shining Stone X1. Weapons, Unnamed, Life Cutter, Jade Horsetail Whisk, Spotless Dagger, High Void, Magistrate Brush. He gained more than he thought he did. According to his previous experiences with the lucky draw, this number of merit points should be enough for him to accumulate enough reversal cards. Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points. Obtained, reversal card X5. That was a nice start. Zhou decided to continue.